Hi friends, welcome to Create with Nancy. It's time for some creative ink. It's time to feel inspired. It's time to create a beautiful project today, and it's time to share that project with someone that will make their day. So come on in, say hello. If you're new to my channel, I welcome you. And I hope you'll say hello and let me know where you're from. Excuse me. And I'm Nancy Thompson. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator here in Skinny Atlas, New York. And today is Friday, June 28, 2024. And it is a beautiful day here in Skinny Atlas. The sun is shining. The temperature is just perfect. There's a little bit of a breeze and it's just beautiful out. So you almost don't want to be inside. So hopefully if you're watching, you're outside on your patio or on your porch enjoying this beautiful day. So let's get started. Today we have a fun fold and we're going to be using that beautiful Countryside in designer paper again. It is absolutely beautiful. I'm trying to come up with some different ways for my team because many of them have earned Stampin' Up! Had a challenge and they earned some of this paper in a different color palette that's only available for demonstrators, and I want them to have some ideas by just switching out the different colors in that palette so they can create and use up that package of designer paper. They did it, Stampin' Up! Did it, and I didn't earn it. So it's a rose color in this pattern and it is absolutely beautiful. It's called Cottage Rose. I think like Melon Mambo and the pinks. It's very pinky. So I know. Hi Colleen, welcome. It is gorgeous outside. I almost hated to come in. I had lunch today with some friends and we were out on the porch and where we ate and it was just beautiful. So, or I guess it was the deck. So anyways, let's get started here because we need to get back to enjoying this day, but I want you to feel creative too. So let's go to my desktop. So again, here's the Countryside in designer paper. We used this on Wednesday, and it was a sketch card, sketch number 21, and we made these beautiful cards on Wednesday. So you can go back and look at the Wednesday video and check it all out, but they are absolutely easy to make and create. It was just some die cut circles, but you could easily add a punch to it. And then some type of label and some, some glittery ribbon there and some bling. So very easy to make. Let me just move those out of the way. And you can find the Countryside in our 24 to 25 annual catalog. You can find it on page 129. It is right up here. And the only way I found it, I have to look. They've done really great. Stampin' Up! Has done a really good job of listing the papers that are in the catalog, but you do have to know the names. So, but you can easily refer and go check them out too, of all the pages that have designer paper in them. If you don't find a particular designer paper, you can always find it in the online store, which is really, really nice because it lists everything in the online store. Okay. All right, so let's get started with, and I got to think about what I did was something. Yes, so I want to show you the fun fold first, okay? So here is this fun fold. So it's called a diagonal joy fold card. So the joy fold is kind of like this little part right here, and then it's going to open like this, okay? And I want to show you how, and I made 6 cards where I've used every design effectively in this package of paper. So I'm not using more of one pattern than the other. And I want to kind of show you, give you some tips on how to go about dividing up your designer paper package, okay? So what I did was I took and I pulled one sheet of each of the 6 designs, okay, double-sided designs, and then that's where I started from, okay? So we're using a 5 1/4 by 4 inch piece of designer paper, okay? And so I first started with one design, Okay, I just took all 6 and, well, actually I cut the 6 designs twice because you needed 2, okay, for this card. And then I also did 2 pieces in the same design. Well, they're different, but I took all the 6 designs and I cut 2 pieces of 2 3/4 by 4 inches, okay? And then I just started laying out my one main design, and then I would play around. I should have probably done this together, but I wanted to put all the pairs together of how I just kind of paired up the paper, okay? And because my one design was the main focus, okay, that you would see on the outside of the card, and then this other design would be what's on the inside, and then these 2 were the let me go back to my card, was the outside flap, and then there's one here on the inside flap, okay? And then it's like playing cards, right? You just start mixing and matching with you start with your 6 basic ones, okay? We're still got more here. Let me finish my other designs here so you guys get a feel. Are you getting what leave me a note in the comments if you're understanding, if I'm explaining this well enough for you, okay? Here's my other 2 here. Let's see, that's the main, this is the inside. Then we've got these 2 pieces. This is the main inside. And these 2 pieces, okay? So I really started with these 2 first, okay? Decided what's going to be, that's going to show on the outside, and then what's going to show here. I wanted those 2 to complement each other, and then you start playing with what complements this, and then what complements the inside when it's open, okay? Until you're satisfied, and you only use those 6 designs, you know, each time. Okay, hopefully that didn't confuse you. Okay, so let's create our card, all right? So let me just put these all back together. And yeah, I've already got supplies done. So let's take my little kit here, and I'm gonna see where I put my paper trimmer. Okay, Nancy, I gotta grab a paper trimmer. I gotta think here because it's not like showing up anywheres in on my desk. Huh. Oh, be right back. Okay, I was using it yesterday. Alrighty, and I didn't do any stamping last night because we were in full bee extraction, honey extraction. And I was just exhausted by the time it was done. Alrighty, so I've got my, excuse me, let's see, I've got these 2 and these 2. I'll just put those aside. So we have, as I said, we have a 4" by 5 1/4, okay? And we are going to, this is going to be the outside layer right here. This is what's going to show. And we are, especially when you're using directional paper, you really want to pay attention to how it's going, okay? So we are going to cut from here to here on this diagonal. The inside is going to be the opposite. So we're going to put this into the corner, into this track, okay, the groove of the track, and then this one too, you're going to line it up so both points are in the middle of that track. And then I like to start my trimmer in here just in case the blade like cuts into that corner not so nicely, and then I'll just go back, okay? So I've got 2 pieces like this, so I'm going to set those aside. And then when I open up the other way, yeah, I gotta think about this. I thought I did. Yes, this time we're gonna go from this corner to this corner, okay? Just the opposite. So the inside is the opposite corner. Right? Let me think here for a minute. Or is that right? There. I got to think. So there's that. There's that. Hopefully this is correct. The opposite, right, Nancy? Because, let me just, there's that, and then, oh, I know. I want to flip it this way so that it is opposite. I had this down pat, so, right? So it's the opposite way. So I want to make sure that's like that. So it's upside down, I guess, is what I want it to be. So when it comes up, oh well, we will grab another piece if I'm inaccurate, okay? Because that's, I think we're going to go like this. Because I cut it all differently. Hopefully this is right. No, it's not. How did I cut this, Nancy? That one's right. And then this one is not right. So how did I get two opposites? Did I flip it? Okay, let's grab another piece. Because I didn't have any problems with doing this. I just cut it. Let me grab another one. Hang on. We got lots of paper here. Okay, so let's do another 4 1/4. 4 inches, or 4 inches by 5 1/4. Sometimes the simplest stuff is the hardest thing to figure out, right? Because it should be, that should be upside down. You guys, I feel like an idiot here, but, so that one's right, but that one's not. So that, I'm not sure. Maybe I cut 2. But we're just going to cut. Because maybe I know what it is, because I had cut 2 of these and did the opposite. There we go. All right, I've got it there now. Okay, because when I was doing this, I cut 2 pieces. So you're going to use the flip side for the front on one card, one side for one and one for the other. So that's what it is. So this one would go, if this was the front of this card, this one would go here. I'm saving this one for that. And then when I do the opposite of this, right? So that would be for that. That's the inside, that's the outside, and then this one, okay, right, would be there, or no. You guys, I'll figure this out. So I need that one. Okay, we're going to flip it on the back side. And this should do it. There we go. Okay. But that's still not right. But anyways, you'll figure it out. I'll make a note and I'm going to redo this again. All right. So anyways, we have 2 pieces that we need. And I'll play with it again. I don't know what, because I had it so it would come out and I was using each of the 2 pieces. So we've got our inside for there and all the rest of the pieces. Okay. Phew. So let's cut our cardstock, okay? So you can get 1 card out of a sheet. You could either cut it in half and then use some scrap for this flip right here, okay? This is a 3-inch strip by 8.5. And then if you're going to make multiples, if you're only making 1 card, then what you could do is cut off your 3-inch piece, okay? And we're going to score that 3-inch piece at 4 1/4. Okay, and there's our little flat piece right there. Okay, and then we need a 5.5-inch piece because that's going to be our card base. And then this would be scrap. Okay, thanks, Gail. I'm so glad you guys are so what's the word I want to use? Gracious with me. So, okay. And then we're going to score this at 4¼ inches because that's kind of like our card base, correct? So there's half of our card. And let's give this a burnished because I want to make sure I can see that score line, okay? So I burnished that. So now we're going to cut our angle now, okay? So we're going to go from here to here and cut that. So let's put it back in our trimmer again. Point here, and then you're going to line up that fold. Just kind of take your time, all right? Because this will, and then we're just going to cut that off, all right? Because you want to get a nice point in the corner, all right? So just kind of take your time in scoring. If it makes you nervous, just take a piece of scrap paper, all right? Put a little fold on it, okay? And practice. Just practice. Putting it in the corner and making sure so you can get accustomed to where to put that fold in the ditch of that guide, okay? So that one went a little bit past my fold a little bit, okay? So just practice a little bit and you'll get more comfortable with it all the time. Okay, so this is scrap. You could use it to punch out something or create a label, something, okay? Okay, so now we are done. Let's burnish this again, and then we can start creating our card. We've got this. So let's do our cardstock, our designer paper first. This one, because you want to make sure you're paying attention to your direction, okay? This one's going to go here. We're going to just fit it into this triangle, and that just gives it a nice little border, okay? Hi, Betty. Welcome. Okay. Betty knows exactly how I feel with all the work of hard bees. Oh, Betty, you'll be glad to hear. I finally have a count of how much honey she extracted this week. She is just blown away with how much honey, how busy her bees have been. She has doubled what she did the whole last year. So she extracted over 322 pounds of honey, which was totally incredible. So if anybody's local that needs honey currently, we are swimming in honey, literally swimming. Okay, so we've got one there. Now this one's going to go onto our inside, okay? And this one we're going to just kind of keep like an 1/8 of an inch border on these two sides. So let's add this. And let's do this. Liquid glue works great to get it into the corners so they don't like lift, okay? So I'm going to go like this. I like to turn it around so I can just see where I'm going. And remember, it's about 1/8 of an inch, okay? Because just remember, this is 4 inches by 5 1/4, so you should be accustomed to, as to how big of a border that goes all the way around. And then we're going to put this one here. Let me just double check to make sure I have this right. There we go. Okay, so let's do this and add this. So we are expecting, I don't know, they have rain in the forecast for the weekend, so hopefully not. Our neighbor's having a graduation party, so I hope it's nice for them. You know what that's like. Okay. There we go. And then this one. This one I'm going to just butt right up to it. If you wanted to, you could leave a space, but I'm going to just butt that right up to it. Okay. And there's so many different possibilities. It's just whatever designs you feel look good together, just go with it. And just make multiple cards. All right, that doesn't look bad. Now we're to the fun part here. I know, Colleen. Oh, she is 322 pounds. You are correct. It is totally amazing. I mean, so much of her honey. There was several of the, oh, what do I call them? Frames of honey that weren't even capped over. They had just finished filling it, and it was just amazing. So it was great because then she didn't have to pull the cappings off it. So that was even better. Okay. So, but I have ate a lot of honey in the last couple of days. Once you know, take some, it's like you can't stop eating it. And I've never been a lover of honey. So now I'm looking at honey recipes. So classes, I'm hoping. I've been so busy I haven't had a time to look at the calendar, but I'm getting there. Okay, so we've got that, and then let's add this. We're gonna add this right up here on top. This card is just full of designer paper. It's a great way to use up that designer paper and de-stash it. So this is gonna go, let me just make sure, yep. Here, and then we're gonna take, I had some scraps of this designer paper, so we're gonna use some of that. So this cardstock is the same dimension as the designer paper, which is 2 3/4 by 4 inches. So that's a great measurement. You can get, you know, 4 sets of cards, 2 sets of cards anyways, if you are using all of this. Okay, we're going to do that, and then let's put this on here, and we're almost done. It's really an easy card, but now I'm like, I'm going to have to figure out what I did on how I cut that paper. There was a certain way, so I'm not quite sure. Okay, so it's driving me nuts. Will there be another harvest this year? Oh no, she did it 3 times last year, Gail. I don't know what we're going to do with all that honey if we get just as much. We shall see. She has 18 hives she's grown, and you know, and she really worked hard this spring and developing the hives, and you know, keeping them fed and splitting them if they were getting too big. Yeah, she was in those hives just about every week doing something to them. Okay, there we go. Wasn't that easy to do that? And this just folds closed. So just really burnish these folds well. This will help it from flying open. Okay, so burnish those. So let's do the front of our card. And this is even easier. So we're simply going to take the 2 3/8 punch, and I think you can find this in the online store. Do the well, it all just depends, Colleen, if, what was I going to say? On how good of a queen you have, okay? Whether she's a good producer or not. Let's see. And then we're going to take, we got a 2 3/8 inch circle. I love these. I think the only place you can find it is in the online store. And then we're going to take our bow punch too. And I use a 1.5 inch strip, and it's just like the perfect size to punch this out without a lot of waste. Okay, we're going to use that. We're going to do Night of Navy in that, and then one in silver foil as well. I'm reading comments. Let's see. I don't use your designs, I'll get mixed up. Okay, no problem on that. So let's see. You can start to follow, and Mary Pat has a Facebook page now called Highland Hives. So you can go and follow her page, and she's been trying to do videos of, you know, when she's doing stuff with the bees and so on. So you can go follow that. It's really interesting stuff. Bees are just really interesting, I think. Okay, so I put a little bit of glue on these. We're gonna marry these two together. Okay, however which way you want. And then we will, let's set that aside for a minute. We got to do some stamping here. We're going to do a thinking of you card. Let's see. We're going to just, this is from Layering Layers, right? Yeah, Layering Leaves is what it is. It goes with the Bow Punch. So hopefully you have this. And it's not a bundle anymore. And speaking of bundles, make sure you can go to my online store, and there's a host code, Create with Nancy, to click the shop now button to order any of your supplies that you might need if you love any of this stuff to help create. And then we're going to, let's pop this up on some dimensionals first. Let's see. And I never used to be a honey lover, Colleen, and I don't know, since having fresh honey like this, it's like night and day versus what you get in the store. So it's really a miracle what they do. Okay, so we've got this. We popped our circle up with that, and then we will add some glue to this. My glue bottle's getting a little low here, and we'll just kind of pop these on. It's just enough of embellishment with the silver and everything. And then let's use, I've already tied a bow with this silver and white sheer ribbon. So let's take a glue dot and add this on right there. Okay, and we need some scissors, and then we'll give this a trim. There we go. And there we go. Okay, and then let's add a little bit of bling. Oh, I forgot to show you, I did a template here too. So create a little template too. I wrote down what the scoring was and the size of my cardstock in the designer paper, so you can see. And then here's my card base, and then obviously with it cut, you're going to know. So this is great to kind of put in your you know, in your library, to keep your template library to refer to again and again. So thanks, guys. Thanks, Gail. It's really interesting. So she'll be keep adding to it, you know, because she's gonna need to like start getting a business presence. So her focus will be bees and pottery in the coming years. So let's go with, let's put one here, and then let's put another one down here, put a big one there, and we'll put another one up here. There we go. What do you think? Isn't that pretty? I love it. It's really easy to do. It looks complicated, but it's not. And if you feel like uncomfortable cutting this, even start with a piece of copy paper, or I make my template from this paper board that's in the designer paper packages as well. Yes, honey glazed chicken is good. I know. I was just looking at a recipe for it on salmon, so I'm like shopping, and I saw one for honey pie, which I think looks really interesting. Okay, so there's that. So yeah, try scrap or whatever it is if you're uncomfortable with making that first cut. And just remember, it's only paper and ink, right? Okay, let's look at the other designs. Let me clean off my desk here. And I have an envelope here somewhere. I don't know where it went for this one. So anyways, oh, here it is. All right, so there's card number 1. And then let's get rid of these. Yes, let's get rid of that. Here's card number 2. And I did keep track, so here we go. So here's that, and then there's that. So it's just a collection of patterns, and I think that they all go so well together. This is a template that my team wanted to make, so we are definitely doing these at our next team meeting. So here's this one right here, because I like to inspire them with creativity. I got to add bling to these. I hadn't at the beginning. So there's that one. And these, so we could really do this with any package of paper. So I'm going to work on doing up some more designs like this. There's that. And then here's this one. There we go. So just fun, who doesn't like blue and white kind of cards? So, okay, everybody, I hope you've enjoyed this. Next week starts. So if you're new to my channel, make sure, make sure you come subscribe to my newsletter, because the cards from Wednesday, this one, there'll be a PDF tutorial on this one to add to your library. Okay, it would totally make a great gift set, gal, you know, to put in some type of holder or a gift bag or something. It would be perfect, you know. So I'm also, you know, I'm working on ideas for my vendor show I got coming up in the fall. So easy to do, just fun. So next week we will be using the changing of leaves. I think that's what we're doing. I'm going to fine tune that this weekend. Hopefully it's going to be rainy, so nothing I can do outside. And yeah, so I hope my hair looks a mess with my glasses. I got my hair cut the other day, so it's really, really short. So so make sure you subscribe to my newsletter if you're new. And but I'm pretty sure, so let's see, what day is it? Today's the 28th, right? 29th. So Sunday is the last day to take advantage of the bundle special. And then July 3rd is new online exclusives come. So that's why we'll be using the changing of leaves. It's a new online, I think that one, or it could be this new Christmas paper too. So I've got a great idea with that, so I might do that one too. Haven't quite decided, but if I don't do one, it'll be the other. So oh, your ex-husband had the bees, but because he found he had allergies. Oh yeah, so she already knows that. She's been stung, and I think she was getting a little bit reaction, but she's getting better with it, so she doesn't get stung as much as she used to. She kind of figures out when the bees are having a good day and a bad day. You kind of learn that after a while, based on the weather conditions and the temperature. So they don't like the rain, so you leave them alone when it's rainy for sure. So okay, I so appreciate you guys, and we will see you next Wednesday. You can come join me either on Facebook or YouTube next Wednesday for some more Creative Ink. Have an awesome weekend, everybody, and thanks so much. Bye-bye.